It's now day 15 of the Delphi murders trial, and it included today more disturbing video of Richard Allen's time behind bars.
13 News legal expert Katie Jackson-Lindsay is here to help us break down the defense's strategy and just the trial as a whole. So by showing these disturbing videos, the defense is actually trying to weaken the validity of the confessions that Richard Allen allegedly provided multiple times during his time in prison. Do you think the defense will be successful in poking holes at these confessions?
Yes, I think that this is a really effective way to challenge these confessions, because what the defense has now done is given the jury a full picture of the circumstances under which those confessions were made. So it's one thing to say that he was facing these challenging conditions, but to be able to put the jury in that space so that they can decide for themselves, I think is pretty impactful.
Mm-hmm. Also today, Katie, the defense brought in a doctor who was a neuropsychiatrist from Carmel, and she testified that after evaluating Richard Allen, she learned that he had extensive mental health issues and diagnosed him with major depressive disorder and also intense anxiety disorder, dependent personality disorder, which also includes high stress. So all these things that she says can cause psychosis, okay? Mm-hmm. So the state psychologist said last week that Richard Allen was faking it and that he wasn't actually mental ill. But this testimony today countered that. So that was a direct refuting of that argument. What's the jury to make of all of this back and forth about his state of mind at that point of time that he was making those confessions?
So every jury gets an instruction about judging the credibility of witnesses. And that instruction tells them you can believe all of a witness, you can believe part of a witness. If you hear conflicting testimony, you have to decide what you believe. So that's what they have to be doing right now. They have one witness from the state that says, no, there was no psychosis. We think that he was faking or he was malingering. They have heard from another witness today who says, no, this was true psychosis. I saw no evidence of that. So now they have to weigh the credibility of each of these witnesses, look at their experience that they heard about, their background, also look at them as a person. You've heard this DLC witness has been fired. You've heard this person that was put on the stand today had a pretty strong reputation. So they have to consider all of those factors and simply decide what they believe.
Mm-hmm. And the jurors also got a chance to ask questions about Richard Allen's mental health. What can you tell by them having those questions?
This jury is laser focused. We learned today that 5 jurors asked questions about those mental health issues, and they were a variety of questions, from how do you tell whether or not he's faking? Could he be having moments of truth even in psychosis? Are these tests subjective? Are they objective? They are really leaning in and asking questions. So what we can glean from that is that they are questioning the validity of these confessions. They haven't made up their mind about it, and that's exactly what they should be doing. They shouldn't make up their mind until they hear all the evidence. So they're doing what we would expect of a good jury.
And most importantly, they're engaged and paying attention, which is, you don't want people to get lost in the weeds of all of this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Any attorney, defense or state, loves to have a jury that's engaged and asking questions. So I'd say kudos to both sides. They've picked a good jury that is being fair and listening to all the evidence.
Yeah. This is Katie Jackson-Lindsay, our 13 News legal expert. Thank you so much for your time. She'll be sticking around.
That's right, because we have our Delphi debrief tonight like we do at 10 o'clock every weeknight. So make sure you tune in. It's on WTHR+.
And you can find that on Apple TV, Roku, as well as Fire Stick.